The King reads comments. Alrighty, guys and gals, it's Big E here. Welcome to the King's Room. I'm going to be catching up on comments. I just went through comments, but I'm getting pretty far behind, so I figured let's do one more of these. How you guys doing? All right, let's jump right in. Here we go. I'll be starting at the bottom. Well, I thought I was a little further ahead than this. This is from 6 days ago on the Iron Man Challenge, episode 28, F451. This is from Jamie. Thank you for this, Eric. I've tried to figure this out. I'll steal this macro right now. I think I replied to this before, but I forgot to give it a heart. Jamie, you're quite welcome. That's the sound macro. If you're interested in adjusting the volume with the click of a button, you can look at this episode 28 on the Iron Man Challenge. David Nelson on episode 29, 4 days ago. I have the same here. Oh, so I read this one too. I forgot to give it a heart, so it counts as I didn't read it. This makes more sense. Yeah, this is about the mage-specific quest in the Undercity. Well, it can be in the Undercity. Thank you for this, David. I'm actually going to be trying this out. Now I know, well, that's all I'm going to say because reasons. Average Dova Gaming, cool gameplay. This game is so cool and scary at times. Yes, it is. Resident Evil Village. I have subscribed to your channel, Average Dova Gaming. I'm looking forward to checking out some of your content, my friend. If you see this, thank you for commenting. I really appreciate you, man. Touch Me Nancy. I haven't been watching much YouTube in general as of late, getting pretty burnt out on WoW, but I do play HC mostly on Defiance Pillager Alliance side. I'm always around looking in the shadows. P.S. Try disabling Fishing Buddy for a bit and see if it resets the sound setting. Oh, that's interesting. I believe this is a problem. Is it messing with sounds for the fishing? Yeah, I have used this add-on before, that Fishing Buddy thing, and it does screw with sound a little bit. It's real strange. I don't think I have it installed anymore. But thanks for that. I do appreciate it. Drew has been a member of my channel for 14 months. Look at that beautiful member badge. Good to see you again, Drew. I know your real life happens and stuff, man. I don't expect you to be watching me all the time. Hope you're doing well, bud. Mitty. Love these videos, such a good way to engage with your community. Thanks for the compliment. Mitty, you are quite welcome, my friend. Midventures, got his own little YouTube channel over there. I'm enjoying his Let's Plays very much. Yes, I am. Touch Me Nancy. That part with all the enemies is a timed event. This is on Resident Evil first episode. Did this on hardest difficulty. Took me like 2 days of trying. Holy crap, man. Great first episode. Been waiting a while for this playthrough. Only tip I say is the last games you discarded some healing stuff which could have helped later. Could always run back to storage and deposit and do cutscenes if need, but up to you. This game is great. Can't wait to see what you think. I'm already enjoying it so much. And I have learned my lesson from that first game. I'm going to be looking for all of the things. So with Resident Evil 7, it was the coins or something that I didn't actually collect all of them, and I think I threw some out. Not going to be doing that in this particular Let's Play. And this one, you can find the little, I think they're crystals or something. They're shiny. They can pop up different places. Yeah, I'm going to be playing this much different. I mean, I'm not going to be playing it better because I'm not good, but I'm going to do my best. Thanks, Drew. I appreciate it, man. This is on Return to Moria, episode 21. This series is perfection. You could own a cat, it would be perfection. I'm going to give you one of those. Good pun there, Dustin. Yeah, man, Return to Moria, it's a lot of fun. I'm learning as I go, and I do get better than I'm currently. The videos that are currently out, I'm still kind of in my learning curve. Wasting stuff and not really clear on how things work, but I do get a little bit better for upcoming videos. Dustin says, check out a game called Outward. When this game gets boring, it's a survival RPG. In fact, Outward 2 is coming soon. I think you would like it. Thank you for that. I'll have to check it out, man. I've never heard of it. And I'm always looking for new games to play. I mean, I have a ton on my wish list or in Steam that aren't installed that I bought like 2-3 years ago, just not have a chance to play them yet. Mr. R.H. Wells. Hello there. He's been publicly subscribed to me for 6 days. Mr. Wells, thank you so much for choosing to do that. I appreciate it. You are completely shooting yourself with ironwood. You're going to need it in spades with future armor and weapons. Once you get emeralds, you can enchant with axe and ironwood enchantment, meaning once you chop down a tree, besides getting wood, you now have a chance to get ironwood. Thank you for this. This also helps. This also works on the orc and goblin structures. You say elven trees are gone, you're destroying all orc and goblin structures, you're limiting your ironwood and wood resources. Thank you so much for this, Mr. Wells. Thinking about it, you're going to need to start brewing beer. A lot of components to brewing beer need ironwood to build. I have not even gotten into this yet. Also, you're harvesting your crops too soon. Wait till there are 4 plants in each planter, then harvest. So I do actually figure this out, Mr. Wells. I'm way far ahead. I'm like 2.5 weeks ahead in recording. So I do actually end up figuring some of this stuff out. I also figure out how much elven wood I was wasting on arrows. And ironwood I've not messed with yet. So I do appreciate these tips very much. Unfortunately, it's going to be not fun to watch me keep making the same mistakes for a little while longer until I finally learn. But I'm not somebody who looks up how to do something or there's a puzzle. I like to try to do things myself and figure them out to a point. When it starts getting like frustrating, then I'll look something up. So a lot of this I'm just kind of learning and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's part of the fun for me. I do appreciate tips like this though. It is quite helpful. But just so you know, I'm probably not going to you won't see me get better or acknowledge some of these things for like at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks here. Mr. Wells, thank you for commenting, helping me out, and thank you so much for choosing to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that. Grateful AJ, haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Hope you're doing well. When I saw 18 minutes, I yelled, no, so loud that I scared my doggo. So glad nothing happened. Hope you feel better. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that very, very much. Episode 31 there. Hope you're doing well. Touch me, Nancy. This game is definitely more on the obscure side of the horror spectrum in comparison to others, which is one of the reasons why I love it. And Lady D, yeah, there will be dialogue in game later with pronunciation of her name, Dimitrescu. Yeah, name spelt very different. I actually looked it up on Wikipedia because if you look something up, there's usually you can click and it plays. This is how it sounded to me too. It doesn't. As an English speaker, if you have a U on the end of something, you usually will pronounce that like Jermiscu or whatever, but that's not what it is. I'm going to mess this up for a while until I get it down, but thanks, Drew. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's like a freak show. The family we're dealing with here. It's a supernatural. The freak show Supernatural with the Baker family in Resident Evil 7. It was just like a horror show. It was like a nightmare. It was supernatural as well, but I love it so far. I'm really enjoying the Resident Evil games, man. Jemmy, great episode. This game looks absolutely awesome. Can't wait to watch more. It's good. I'm enjoying it. And I'm not getting too far ahead in this. I'm recording these episodes pretty much the day before they release, so that whatever I'm talking about, or if you guys are leaving tips or comments, I'll be current with with the video that's currently out. At 23:23, that voice, let's see what this is.
With that crazy Moknathal to kill her older sister? To be young again, like you.
That is not a troll's voice. Yeah. That voiceover add-on is really cool. It's really well done. But the troll voice is just not. It's way off. I agree, Mitty. Hope you're doing well, man. But Eric, what if I call it Nomer Reagan? No. People pronounce this different. People usually say Nomer, but I often hear people say Reagan. No, that's not right. 2230. I love finding those little out of the way spots in the game. So cool. It really makes the world seem larger. I think I know the spot you're talking about. Let's check the timestamp here. What is this? Yeah. Little RP spot there. A little camping spot in Stone Talon Mountains. I remember finding that. I think I was talking about when I discovered that little area. Thanks, David. Appreciate it, man. Calderas. It's probably Calderas. How are you? I've seen your name before. How you doing? You might need to create a second world just to harvest more elven wood. Especially if you spent the wood. Yeah, I've been wasting it on arrows. What do you mean create a second world? Oh, well, this is something I haven't even thought about. They tie together, right? So you have access to the resources if you have a second thing. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. I do finally realize that I wasted so much elven wood. And I was checking back at the elven area, thinking the trees would grow back, but they do not. I have been getting some elven wood from these barrels that are sealed on the top. Sometimes you'll get it from that, but I think I've wasted too much of it, which is kind of, it is what it is. We'll see what happens there. I'm going to try not to do that, like create a second world, unless it's like something that I absolutely have to progress. I might have to do something like that. We'll see what happens. Or I can break something apart, maybe. I think some of the chests are built with elven wood, so if I only need a couple of pieces or something to progress with some of the structure, maybe I can break down some of those chests to get some elven wood back. We'll see. Calderas, thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate that, man. Bobster, thanks for this. It was really fun to see. Just to clarify, the mining songs are just for stamina-free mining. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think the comment I read before, I think I got confused thinking it would also clear away like that purple haze, but that's the Durin statues, the statue of Durin's. If you complete that song, then it does remove all that stuff. Yeah, right here. The song you sang at Durin statue, you fixed just before the Elven Quarter. Finishing next song is one that clears the purple haze permanently. Thanks again for the shout outs and for the very warm welcome. Loving the comment. Well, I'm glad that you're here, man. I really do. I hope it's okay if I call you Bobster. My dad's name was Bob. Most people called him Bobby, though. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for the comment. I really appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. And again, thank you for choosing to be here. I appreciate you. This is I Am Pizza Man. I love this name. I have a question for you. Is again not spelt again? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Good video. City Skylines one, I found that there was less dummy traffic if I use the traffic manager mod. I'm going to have to look into this mod. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is actually a reference to World of Warcraft. And I realize people who are watching City Skylines may not be watching World of Warcraft or know what it is. This came up with the hardcore community. Whenever a hardcore character dies, you lose the character. People started to say, we go again instead of again. Yeah. So I probably look like an idiot for anybody who doesn't know the reference. They're like, what? I Am Pizza Man. Yes. Thank you. Hopefully that clarified that. That's why I put that. It doesn't really make any sense in the world of City Skylines. That's for sure. Mid-Ventures. The endless BRD runs will soon be replaced with E's favorite dungeon, Endless Hellfire Ramparts. I forgot about this. That is going to happen, isn't it? It's a very good point, man. It's pretty disappointing to get the same dungeon 20 episodes in a row, just one after another. There just doesn't... Right now, there's only 2 dungeons we can get. But I guess that's just something you have to deal with. But hopefully we'll get through it. And hopefully I won't complain about it as much as I have been. Shirties. Coming in at the end of the dungeon is the best way to do dungeons experience-wise. 3 minutes worth of work for 15,000 XP is good, but isn't the best for what you need videos. That's true. This is a good point. I mean, I guess you do miss like the XP for the mobs all the way through, but if you're doing the random dungeon where you get that massive XP, that's a good point, man. Yeah, I guess you could consider yourself lucky there if you're just looking to level up quickly. David says, classic Big E episode opener. Not sure what I did on this video. Something stupid. Oh, this is probably, I started recording before I knew that I was recording, I think, and I just ended up leaving it in there. I think it's what I did because I was too lazy to edit it. Jimmy, wow. Oh, I was helping a brother out on some window in OBS for you YouTubers out there. Sometimes when Windows does an update, it'll actually reset your settings in OBS, your mic settings or your headphones or whatever your default is, to Windows default, which could be something you're not using. So what you should do is go into your Windows and set your Windows default to your microphone and your headphones. That way, when Windows does the update and OBS gets reset to default, it'll ask Windows, hey, what's the default device? And it will automatically be pointed at your microphone or headphones, if that makes any sense. Bijarn, probably saying that wrong. Shame you can use the auction house, else it's a fun challenge. This is on the Iron Man. Yeah, the Iron Man challenge, it depends on the rule set you look up. Some of them say you can't. Some of them say you can. The Iron Man is a very, very difficult challenge to do. So I use it just to sell things to get a little extra money. It doesn't really work so well on a dead server, but you could do the the Iron Man as solo self-found, where you would eliminate the mailbox and the auction house and trading and all that. Trading's not allowed on the Iron Man challenge anyway, but that'd be a good way to do it. Yeah, and I've done the Iron Man challenge before where you don't use the auction house. It's just kind of a custom rule set, trying to give myself just a little bit more chance to succeed. Doesn't really come in that handy, though, honestly. Good to see you, Bjarn. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it, man. If you choose to stick around, welcome to the Misty Mountain Gaming family, brother or sister. Saved by Grace. I tried to send you an email, but for some reason you didn't get it. Yes, I did. And I have responded to that. So check for a reply. Hopefully it didn't go into your spam or anything, but it sometimes happens. I have 3 or 4 trading card mounts, sadly not the most valuable, but still can be sold on YouTube. I only have a few weeks to give these to you before my sub expires. Please do let me know if it's something you would be interested in. Maybe respond here. Please let me know how to send a private message to you. If I don't hear from you, I'll just assume you're not interested. I'm told these mounts can be sold for a few $100s. Holy moly. It's been a while since I looked. Yeah, I did respond to you, Saved by Grace. I didn't see the email because it did actually go to my spam folder. I am in the habit of checking my folder now because I do have people contact me. You can find my email address on the About section of my YouTube channel for like business inquiries and stuff. But I love hearing from people who watch the channel, and it did go into spam. I did see it and I did respond. So, sorry if you thought I was just like ignoring you. If somebody sends me a message, I will never ignore you. But what will happen is if it's an email, it could go into my spam folder and could get missed. So if you do try to contact me, anybody on the channel, just leave a new comment on a video, basically saying this, hey, I sent you an email. Look for it, and I certainly will. At 4629, I've not really had any mighty battles. I mean, this one time I killed 2 gray mobs. I laughed so hard. Only those who have tried hardcore can truly appreciate these words. Let's see what this is. I vaguely remember. I think I'm being a smart ass. God, I don't carry an axe. I've not really had any mighty battles. I mean, this one time I killed 2 gray mobs. Yeah, that sums up the Iron Man challenge right there. I'm glad you got a laugh out of that. Shepherd, this is a crazy challenge, especially on Warrior. Good luck. Sorry about the Hunter. Hey, Shepherd, how you doing? Yes, it is a crazy. The Iron Man challenge on a Warrior is probably the most difficult thing you can do in Warcraft, I think. Thank you for watching, Shepherd. It's good to see you. If you choose to stick around, man, welcome to the Misty Mountain Gaming family, brother. Absolutely. And are you a YouTuber? Yes, he is. Subscribed. Just subscribe to your channel, brother. I'll come by and check out some of your stuff, Mr. Shepherd. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. I sure do. Hope you enjoy that challenge. Mr. Wells, your black diamonds are in your treasure cache. Yes, they are. And I only realized this, I guess the video's not out yet, where I finally figured that out. I kept thinking that my black diamonds were despawning or going away. But what was happening, they were in my bag, and when I go to put my treasure into the pile, black diamonds already go in there. They automatically go in there. I don't think that should be a thing in the game, but it definitely is. And I didn't figure this out until, well, hopefully the next couple of videos, you'll see that I finally figured this out. But yes, thank you very much for that. I was losing my mind until I finally figured it out. Calderis, I managed to disappear my mithril helmet by equipping a different helmet from a chest while wearing the mithril. Game equipped the helmet from chest and my mithril helmet was gone. That sucks. Yes, it does. I'll have to keep this in mind. What I've been doing with my equipment I'm not wearing anymore, or it's, I'm just building the armor racks that go on the wall or the stands, and I'm putting all my stuff onto there. But that's good to know, man. Thank you for letting me know that. Destroying Orktown stops the hordes in a zone, but camp sieges are different and will continue regardless. I have figured this out too. But yes, 100% right. It does stop the horde in that area, but like he's saying, you can still get these little camp raids, I think is what happens. Or when you're making too much noise, you'll get a raid, which I think is cool. It really is, especially if you're doing this solo. They can be quite challenging. Justin says he is enjoying these. I am too. I haven't played the game for almost 2 weeks, over 2 weeks now, like I said, because I got so far ahead. But I'm starting to get to the point. I think I've got like a week left, and then I can start playing it again. And I'm going to be so out of touch with it. I'm going to have to get familiar with everything again, because I had to stop playing it. Otherwise, I would have been into like November with ahead in recordings there. Keep the beard, says David. Okay. This is a heartbreaking episode, 22 hours ago. Yes, it is. Well, I've kind of already given it away here. Yeah, something happens in that episode. Did I read comments from here? I think I should. Yeah, let's just continue because I've kind of already given it away. The episode was out yesterday anyway. So sorry, dude. As David said, keep the beard. We need it. I guess I was talking about shaving it. We need it, says Dustin. All right. I like to hear that. JJ says, why do you hate yourself so much that you would want to inflict this yourself? Yeah, man, it's brutal. It's punishing, JJ. But I got to say, man, if you've never tried like the Iron Man challenge, it is fun. Yeah, it is punishing, but it can be fun. For me personally, it's more exciting playing it this way when you have so much to lose. But you're right. It's quite punishing, man. Stubby, how's it going, Stubbs? Putting a ticket in with Blizzard support would do nothing. It would not. Not on the hardcore servers, and they went way out of their way to let people know that because they did not want to have to deal with emails from people or from them trying to contact them through support, which is basically impossible these days. It's not like the old days where you could open up a ticket and send it. You don't do that anymore. They're going to take you around and around and around, check frequently asked questions or check the user community, blah, blah, blah. It's almost impossible to actually send something that you write out to them for them to read. They don't want to do that anymore. And they certainly weren't going to do it on a hardcore server where death is permanent, they would get so many, hey, I died because of this, and then they would have to check. They just decided that's the way it is. Deal with it or don't. So I've decided not to deal with it anymore. I will no longer be playing on a hardcore server ever because they have nothing in place to prevent it from happening, which I don't know. I don't know what they could do, but it's too big of a risk for me. So I'm just playing in Classic Era. And if we die in a permadeath challenge to a disconnect, I just don't count it. So, but yeah, it wouldn't do anything. You can't really even put in a ticket with them anymore. Dolores, how are you, Dolores? There's that kitty cat right there. That hardly seems fair. It's not fair, not at all, but it is. You kind of know what you're signing up for with this. And I've been scared this was going to happen for a long time. But imagine this happened on the Hunter, on my level 57 Hunter in the Iron Man Challenge. Like, I was crushed that I screwed up myself and died, but imagine just getting disconnected like that. Or a level 60 character, and it's happened to people on this channel. It's BS, for sure. F, brother, says Drew here. I believe that was the day a lot of people died. My rogue almost ripped from the same shit. They were having server issues. Disconnect protection would be nice, but hard to work around people just connecting their own connection when they're in trouble. Hopefully in the future, something can be done, but probably not. Yeah, something. I wish there was something they could do. I don't know what they could do, though, but it's probably unrealistic for them to guarantee uptime for their clients. I don't know. Maybe there's technology like that, but it's just too brutal, man. And I was wondering how many people died there. I mean, it's not like there's a ton of people on these servers anymore anyway, but there are people with 60s still doing crap, and there's still people trying to level up. Like, the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is you're level 59 and you get disconnected and die like that. That's just, oh, man. Hanky, what's going on, Hanky? So unlucky. You did good so far. Well, thank you. It was a decent little run there. Yes, it was. I will say right now, there is going to be a surprise. There is a surprise coming, and there's two people on this channel I'm going to give a big shout out to. One is Drew. The other is David Nelson. They're both channel members. And based on an email from David was talking to Drew, maybe in comments or something. Based on that conversation, an email was sent to me, and I will say there is a surprise coming. And it relates to this video. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Hanky. It's good to see you. If you're new, welcome. Hope you choose to stick around. And if you do so, welcome to the Misty Mountain Gaming family, my friend. This is a cool picture. I like trying to figure out profile pictures sometimes. This looks like it's something in a desert or something. Kind of neat. It's probably not even close. The Pursuer, Umbrella Secret Service, is the YouTube channel there. Big oof. Absolutely, man. I had to put in the dolphin sounds in this one during the edit because I dropped so many F-bombs. Dude, I was pissed. I was pissed. So I didn't edit every cuss word out, but I try to go easy on that word, but I did not go easy on it. So I've edited the video. D. Curry. You have to learn to turn off your snapping in the road menu pop-up. All those squares selected under parallel mode is the snapping. Yeah, man, I do need to practice with this. I think you left me a good comment on this as well before. I started to get a little bit used to it in City Skylines 1, but City Skylines 2, I think it's got a couple of different things, and I think the icons might be a little bit different. What I need to do is just off camera, just kind of take 10 minutes or so and just study what each one does, because it drives me a little bit crazy when I'm trying to lay a road or something in and it's snapping all over hell and back. And I realize all I have to do is just click the right thing to keep that from happening. But thank you, D. Curry. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for watching and commenting. Seriously. Midventures says rip. Yes. Rip indeed. I was feeling pretty good on the Mage too, man. Good idea picking era. Can't trust the servers. So unfair. Yeah. We're re-rolling. I'm a little bit ahead in the next one. Not that far ahead, but I think I already, at the end of this video, I think I decided what I was going to play, and I've got a couple under my belt already. Midventure likes the Warlock choice there. Yeah, he's doing a Warlock himself. Professor, great looking character. He's got the undead, I call it Bozo hair. A lot of you are probably too young to know who Bozo was, but Bozo had some pretty insane looking hair. The Professor has it as well. By the way, if you guys want to see a cool video, I just watched it this morning, I believe. Hardcore run in Ragefire Chasm, Midventures, on his Warlock, in fact. That's kind of what hardcore is all about, man, is doing those dungeon runs. It amps it up so much more, for sure. I wouldn't suggest doing an Iron Man going into a dungeon, but that would be interesting as well. Saved by Grace, hunters have a permanent target dummy that follows them around everywhere. Oh, the pet. Yeah, right. I was like, what? Yes, Warlock could as well. Baron says, I yelled out, no, don't delete her. Just use the free transfer option and continue on another server. As long as you don't die because of your own fault, you can continue the challenge. Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to... This was a surprise, but based on this comment, we are doing exactly this. Yes, we are. So, episode 34 is coming out. It's probably not coming out for a day or two. Well, I don't know. I may just release it. But the email I was talking about, it basically says this exact same thing, and I didn't even think about doing this. So I don't want to go into it too much because I explain all this at the beginning of the next episode, but I am continuing Susie the Mage here. Yes, I am. I didn't know I'd see a comment like this. So absolutely. And I did exactly what they suggested, and it worked, and it's free. So Susie is still living. I'm not going out that way. I'm not going out to a disconnect that I have no control over in the Iron Man Challenge. It's just not fair. And I'm not playing on the hardcore server anymore, dealing with this. Now, there's some interesting stuff that happens after the transfer, but you guys will see that in the next episode there. Baron, thank you so much for this. I'm glad you picked up on that as well. This didn't even occur to me that I could do this because I did delete the character. Here's the thing. If you delete a character at the login screen, there's a little option beside underneath on that right side where your characters are, where it says log in or go or whatever the hell it is. Right beside it, there's a little button, looks like the refresh button. If you click that, it'll give you the option to restore a recently deleted character, and I was able to get her back, and I do transfer her to the Classic Era server. That's what happened. That actually happened this morning, as a matter of fact. Thank you, Baron. Blazer says, I was in the middle of fighting Queen Ensarek. When I heard your music change, I had to pause the video and watch after the fight so I didn't miss it. Very unfortunate that the server pooped itself like that. Would be cool if they just froze your character when a disconnect happened. Yeah, Blazer, yes, man. Yeah, I did put the music in there. It's called Contact is the name of that song. And sometimes I'll label the video like that, but I probably not anymore because that kind of gives it away. I won't always put it in for a death, but I'll usually put it in on a very close call if I can remember to do it. But yeah, it sucked, man. And you're right. There should be something they can do. I wish there was something they can do. The thing is, they would have to invest, and they would have to put money into doing something. And I don't feel like Blizzard wants to do that anymore with something that's already out like this. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Make your character go immune or, something, man. But it's probably a lot easier to say, like, I wish this was a thing than to actually make that thing happen. I don't know. But until they come up with something like that, I'm not going back to a hardcore server. Kitty says, hi, King. Well, hello, Kitty. Big giant heart and big hugs. big hugs and a big hi. Yes. Thank you for commenting. Good to see you. If you're newish, and you decide to stick around, welcome to the Misty Mountain Gaming family. I appreciate you being here. Trayla Play. Sorry, brother, completely unfair. You were killing it. Something is cursed about Stone Talon Mountains. Yeah. Yeah, well, Kron the Butcher is in Stone Talon Mountains. Yeah. Wild's Darkest Secret? Absolutely. Thanks, Trice. Good to see you, man. Impy says, sad to see DC is the worst way to go. Happy you are getting right back up. Looking forward to more videos. Thank you, Impy. I do appreciate it, my man. Ness Prost. Okay. Hold on. I got this. Ness Protstam. I'm so sorry I'm butchering that. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I'm going to call you Protstam. Your playlist is completely out of order, by the way. You may want to reorganize it. Yeah, man, I actually have no control over this, and you're not the first person to say something about this. This is all on YouTube. I don't know what the deal is. I number the episodes, at the end, it's right there, episode 20, 21, 22. But for whatever reason, Blizzard, YouTube can obviously just put them in any order they want. I don't really understand what that is. But I think I am going to open a ticket with them as a partner with YouTube. I do have direct contact that I can have with an actual person. So thanks for bringing this to my attention again. I'm actually going to make a note of this because, like I said, you are not the first person to say this, and it doesn't really make any sense because I released them on specific dates at certain times. So they should fall in order like that. But let me just make a note here. Yeah, I've tried to go in but there's no options for me. There's nothing I can do about it. So it's something on their end that they have to look into. Thank you, Prostam. I appreciate that, man. Gaming Grandma, how are you doing, Teresa? I sure enjoy listening to your commentary. I hope I can become as natural and relaxed as you seem to be. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gaming Grandma has her own YouTube channel. I love the new artwork here. It's so cool looking. And she also chose to become a member of my channel almost immediately, and that really makes me happy. Teresa, thank you so much I appreciate that comment. It took me quite a while to not be so nervous and just kind of start being myself. It took like 6 months at least, I think, because I'm a very anxious person and I'm just kind of used to it now. But I enjoy your commentary very much as well. Looking forward to more Return to Moria from you. Cryptic says you could transfer your mage off to another server and continue that way. You guys are smart, way smarter than me. Yes, I can. What is this? That's cool. It looks like 2 potions. It looks like a health pot and a mana pot right there. Cryptic, am I right? I'm right, am I? That's totally what it is. Yes. Hopefully this has sunk in now, but I don't have to worry about this anymore. Because like I said, I don't think I'm going to be playing on the hardcore server unless something amazing happens over there and I want to risk it. But good point. Thank you, Cryptic. I hope you stick around. If you do, welcome to the Misty Mountain Gaming family, and thank you for commenting. The Baron says, note to Blizzard, disconnected characters should become invulnerable. Yeah, I just mentioned this too, man. This would be a good thing, right? Surely they could do something like that. Like just write something into the code, because obviously it would be easy to tell if a client is disconnected. Well, but then if the client is disconnected, then they won't have access to, well, you're no longer connected to the server. So I'm not sure what they could do about that. And I don't know if there's a way, like disconnects, you're either connected or you're not, right? So, but I do wish there was something to, maybe they build something into the game files in the game, and when the local install I'm talking about on your hard drive, when it detects it doesn't have an active connection, maybe it triggers something on the character, just on these hardcore servers, to where you become invulnerable, right? This is a great idea, man. They really need to do something like that. I've got about 18 minutes here. I've got something cooking in the oven. I'm going to go get it out here in just a little bit. Great idea, Baron. That's a great idea, man. Drew says at 5725, this puzzle took me forever to get because I'm dumb. You're so quick, Mr. Smarty Pants. Glad you're having fun with it. Did a great job on this game. What puzzle is this? Women are okay. This is a clue, I guess. Oh, this puzzle. Yeah, the blood puzzle. Yeah, the hint. Pretty big hint right there. I'm surprised I got that too, man. I'm pretty stupid. I don't know. There are some puzzles in some games I can get right away, and then there are other ones that might be like super obvious to other people, and I just cannot figure them out. But one of the things I like doing is trying to figure stuff out like that in a game. And I'll go at it for quite a while, but, you know, if it starts getting to the point where I'm just like, screw this, then I'm just going to look it up. That one wasn't too bad. Matthew says, Mommy. Lady D is 9'6" tall, according to the wiki page. Holy moly. I think I said she would look like she was like 9 feet tall. Yeah, I didn't actually even I saw that she was tall the first time we saw her. But in this the episode, we get like strung up, and she's as she's leaving, she has to like duck down to get through the door. I was like, damn. Yeah, that's an interesting looking character, man. She's crazy looking. Mr. C. Tom, what's going on, brother? This game likes to give you ammo and crafting materials and then force you to dump it all on enemies. Don't stress it. You'll always be able to scrape by. There's also a lot of opportunity to backtrack every area eventually, so don't worry if you feel like you've missed stuff. You'll be encouraged or made to revisit more areas of the last couple, at least a couple of times. And you are not bad. Stop saying that. Very well said here, man. I appreciate it. And I responded to you too, because I appreciated this comment so very much. This made me feel a lot better because I'm not a good player. But there's been a couple of points in this game where I felt like I maybe could have run around or through something and not wasted ammo. But this is good to know, man. See, Tom, thank you, dude. I appreciate it, man. Seriously. Thank you for being here. I really, really do appreciate comments like this. Made me feel good. Grateful, AJ. So heartbroken. So sorry, E. Me too. But like Celine Dion, C and Dion, what the hell's her name? That must go on. Okay, that was terrible. You know what I'm trying to say. We do go on here because of my beautiful user community, my channel members, my subscribers, my viewers. They gave me a way out of this, and I didn't even think about it. So we're continuing, Grateful, AJ. Yes, we are. So glad to see you again. Mr. Little 50, the bats are very annoying, but you're getting pretty good with that bow, taking them down. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Little. Thank you for commenting. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I love seeing new people show up like this. Yes, I do. Hope you stick around, and if you do, welcome to the Misty Mountain Gaming family. That's what this is right here. And I'm caught up. Yes, I am. And I'm going to be eating here in just a minute. Let's roll back into the King's room here. Da-da-da-da-da. Cha-da-cha-cha-cha. Let's shut this on down. There we are. Alrighty. Yeah. Yeah, Iron Man Challenge. I was so happy to read that stuff and decide to keep going with Susie there. So what that death that I took, which was yesterday or whenever, well, I don't know when this is going to come out because I didn't really want to spoil because some people don't actually see the video for a couple of days. So this video that you're watching might not come out till like Friday or so. I'm not sure yet, but I died on the mage on the video that came out on Tuesday, the 24th September. But for me, it was like the 14th or the 15th, which was like 10 or 11 days before. And in that time, I'd started a new character, the Gnome Warlock, and I think I'm level 17 or something. So what I had what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that character. But here's the thing. I have that character and I have videos. I have like 12, no, not that many, like 8 or 9 videos saved up because I've been playing this for like 10 days, right? I'm not going to release those. I'm going to put those in a folder and we'll go to that character when I die on Susie, which is bound to happen because this is a tough challenge. And that'll save a little the opening levels anyway. So I'm just going to continue the mage as if nothing happened, and I won't be playing the gnome warlock until something happens to this character, I think, is what we'll do, if that makes any sense. I guess that's it for me. Anything else going on? City Skylines. I got so frustrated with it last night, I almost was going to scrap the entire series and just not play it. But I don't want to be that dude. I want to keep going. I just don't think I'm that good at the game, I think is a lot of the problems. But the other thing, I get so focused on making something perfect or why something isn't working that I end up spending so much time on like trying to fix traffic problems and stuff, and watching cars on an interstate go and just make a U-turn, like just so many. And it's like, what is happening here? Why are this? And you can't really figure it out. At least I can't. And it gets to a point where it's so frustrating. But for right now, I'm continuing. And we'll see how it goes. But I've also been thinking about trying another City Builders game. I've never really played another one. And I know there's a lot of them out there. I like Planet Coaster. Well, it's not really like a city builder, but like I like things that you build and make work, and then there's a simulation to it, a sim game or whatever. There's so many. Also, I might be starting. Some of you might remember Skeeter from SnowRunner. Yeah. You might be seeing Skeeter again, but in a different game. I'm just going to say that, and that's all I'm going to say in case it doesn't happen, but we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I guess that's it. I'm going to go get some food here. Thank you all so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for the thumbs up and for commenting, and it's really cool. I love looking at the comments, reading the comments, and it just really brightens my day to know that people seem to enjoy this. I feel like I'm like one of the worst players at most games, but I guess the commentary, I offset it with the commentary. I don't know. But anyway, as always, a big giant hug and a thank you to my channel members. I love you guys and gals so very much. That's it for me. Take care. I will see you in a future episode of something. Peace.